time yet, and he's going to be the only one right now. With that being said, back to the second place of Matthew Lee is about 3.5 seconds, and that's going to close up very quickly. LaBeouf right now leading this pack. Still got to take and make it down to pit lane. Holding right now onto the top spot. We're going to see when he hits the stripe what the difference between him and Lee is. But as I say that, the 57 to the outside of Mr. Robert McFarland behind him. Garrett Maines has slid into the second place spot as Joshua Slate still on pit lane. Bray LaBeouf has got a challenger coming in, coming fast. That's the 57 of Maines right now as we go down through turn 2. Bray LaBeouf still got to take and get his pit in. If a caution was to come out right now, the advantage would go to the 9 machine because he'd be able to pit and stay ahead of these guys. But that's going to be short-lived as we see the 57 of Garrett Maines retake over the top spot.
Yes, Ray, I'm right behind the 57. I'm a couple laps down. I got brand new tires. I'm not sure I can pass him.
Well, no worries about passing him. You're a couple laps down, but on the same note, try to follow his line. You might be able to pull away from the second-place guy of Nicholas Sacco. Sacco right now, Matthew Lee. Matthew Lee in second, Sacco in third. But LaBeouf there has got to get into that pit. He is slowing down. He's about 2 seconds off the pace. We're working lap 95 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Ray, you've seen a lot of races. You've called a lot of races. You're one of the top 3 in the country. Have you seen a race at Atlanta and the trucks go this far on green?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them, but again, with one caution out, that's not necessarily it's one of the top races I think I've seen here as far as I'm concerned. But again, you take these guys that have gone for a long green flag run. Believe it or not, strategy has got to come into play here. Robert doing a fantastic job keeping on the tail end there, the 57 honorary reporter. Bray LaBeouf, by the way, in the 9 machine, overshoots his pit. Right along with him right now. On right sides of the machine go up, go down. Left side is going to go up, taking 4 tires in fuel. Tires off and immediately back on as Maines right now walks away with the lead. 1.5 seconds now back to the second place of Matthew Lee. Top 3 back in the order where they were originally before our pit stops. Maines, Lee, Sacco. But now with another challenger, Chris Baines. But Baines being in mind, let's see, he's 13 seconds back from the leader and 12 seconds back from third place. It's going to be a long time before he catches up. If not, you're going to have a caution before that happens. 97 laps in the books right now. Leader again, Garrett Maines holding on to that. He'll go to the inside of the 111 just to get out of the way there. 111 a couple laps down as we see Robert trying to hold on to him there. McFarland going to the inside as we see the challenge there. Not necessarily for the first position, but to try to get a lap back for the 0-1. Matthew Lee just ahead of the 29 here, back in second place. 2 seconds now between the second place and the top lead of Garrett Maines. Sacco is going to have to do the same thing he did last time. Conserve those tires, make his run up to the back end of Lee, and see if he gets a chance towards the end to get to the inside to make a second place to he's going to be in a podium finish as it is with a top 3, but we're going to see if we can take a top 2 home tonight. Sacco to the inside of the 111. Keep in mind, Maines just passed the 111 here a lap ago. So again, they're not far from the leader, but they are losing ground. 2.2 seconds now separates the top 2. Last lap before that, 2 seconds. Keep in mind, 2 seconds, 0.2 down, 2.396. Let me get that correct. Separates the top 2. They are losing ground to the leader of Garrett Maines. Sacco all alone there, but trying to get to the tail end of that 0-4. There's our challenge right now for the second place spot. Garrett Maines, one thing in this league, keep in mind there is a prize. The top 3, I believe, get paid. Top prize right now at the league. Again, Garrett Maines controlling this whole race. Watching out for the 21 as he goes to the top side. 21 will take it low in front of Robert McFarland. Able to get through there. McFarland has the advantage of passing to the inside. That'll gain him a lap back to the 57. A little bit of advantage with lap traffic there, Robert. Good job. Get one of your laps back. Matthew Lee now 2.6 seconds back in second place. Mr. McFarland, great job there, but again, He'll lose another lap to the leader as he goes to the bottom side. Keep out of his way, able to take and leave the 57, the groove that he wants. Still not a bad run by Robert. We'll run down your top 10 at this time. The first place position, 57, Kinnan. 7th place, Brandon Bullock in 8th. Ray LaBeouf, who was up running with these leaders for a while, 9th place, and rounding out your top 10 will be the 11 of Steve Font. All being said, 5 trucks right now with this green flag run is on the lead lap. 6th place of Joshua Slate, 1 lap down in the catbird seat for the Lucky Dog. And of course, Lucky Dog not playing a lot into this position tonight. With the long green flag run we got here, there just hasn't been a Lucky Dog. Still an excellent job by these guys all night long.
I could go for a Lucky Dog there.
Got a little bit of ways to go, Mr. Robert.
Yeah, I'm having fun. These leaders are fast. I don't know how I'm keeping up with them. Probably the draft.
Draft does head up here at Atlanta. These speeds are up around 190 miles an hour. Trucks still punching a big hole in the air, which actually helps them dragging out, as we see up here in front with the 57. The lap truck of Robert McFarland following him as much as he can. That'll take the draft down to the backstretch. Watch Robert. He'll get to the tail of him. Keep in mind, Robert a couple laps down, able to run with the leader. Draft definitely helping him all this time. 3 seconds right now between the leader and the second place of Matthew Lee. Take a look back in second and third place there, if you would. Matthew Lee in second to the inside of Hurley, a couple laps down that 3 machine. The 4 following him through using the draft as well. Sacco trying to take and get around this lap traffic. 2 wide ahead of him. Those 2 guys, the 3 and the 4, are a lap down. The 88 with a challenge to the inside right now is Sacco. Haven't seen the 88 all night long. That's Rocky Eli, 3 laps down. Sacco kind of falling off for tires. He's still trying to take and hold on to him a little bit towards the end. Lap 106 right now at the stripe 107. That'll give it 224 laps to go. 130 is your goal.
Ray, the drivers, the question the driver, Ray, this is fun, are going to have to ask themselves, do they have enough fuel? Do they have to get off the gas a little bit to save some?
Well, in the long run of things, keep in mind they pitted around lap 93, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with Maines, Lee, and Sacco. Again, a couple different laps that they pitted, I believe 93 and 94. And with that being said, about 40 lap runs what they can get in here if they stretch it out. So they should be able to make it to the end. What are you looking like on fuel, Robert? Robert, do you have anything on your fuel gauge? Can you see that at all?
Yes, sir. It says 36. That goes down real quick. I probably got about 25.
That should be enough to make it to the end right now within 25 laps to go. 108 is what we're on. Again, 130 is the goal. Nicholas Sacco riding behind him. Third place, still trying to chase down that 04 of Matthew Lee as they come down the front stretch. Leader at the stripe now. That'll show you the difference between the top 3.
Yeah, keep in mind, Ray, I stretched out the last tank. I think these leaders pitted probably 5 to 10 before I did.
Yeah, you should be able to make it to the end without a problem. The leaders, if that is the case, it may be questionable.
That's where it's going to be interesting, fans. Thanks for tuning in to the Josh White eSports Truck Series.
As I'm saying this, to give you an idea, I'm watching the leader right now. He sits in the fair start finish line right now. If you look up ahead, those black dots, that's him. Sacco crossing the start finish line right now. That is the difference, which is 4.36 seconds between him and third place spot, Fulton right now, 19 seconds back in the 4th place spot. Matthew Lee losing ground here. Second place is 04 machine to the leader of Garrett Maines. Atlanta tonight bringing a great show, but a great domination by the 57 machine.
Yeah, like I said, you get that kind of ranking, a top 10, 11 ranking in the world of iRacing. Fans, you are in for a treat tonight. You've seen him start up front. You've seen him lose the lead, gain the lead back through pit strategy. I followed him. I was lucky for about 10 laps. He is phenomenal. I wish I knew what he knew.
He's doing a great job of saving fuel as well as throttle control. Here at Atlanta, that's one thing you've got to do coming down through these corners. Again, you get into it too hard with older tires, there's a really good chance here they're going to shoot up the track or out of the corner, probably have the rear end come around. We see the 57 here of Maines take it up to the second groove, bring it down by the line as it'll come down through turn 2. A little bit of more lap traffic ahead of him. The 88 was able to pass him back for another gain of a lap. Behind him, the 54 looks of Chris. Sorry, that's the 4 machine. Trying to get a lap back. Christopher Toppings, he's in the 21st position. 4 laps down, trying to make it 3 right now at the stripe. He'll go below our leader. The leader go high, out of his way. Usually it's the other way around, but the fresher tires will avail in this case. Christopher Toppings around, the number 57 of Maines, our leader. Maines still plenty of room between him and second place. 4 seconds now, almost flat at the line last time by. Lap 113, just under 20 to go at this point in time. Maines would have to have either a caution or a pretty big slip-up, obviously, to lose the lead at this point. Nicholas Sacco back in the third place spot. 4.5 seconds behind the leader, half a second behind the second place spot of Matthew Lee. A little bit of a gain that time, 3.9 seconds compared to 4.008 last time around between first and second. Matthew Lee with a tap of a lead truck or lap truck there, able to hold on to it though, coming out of turn 2. Little bit hard to get to the top side, was not clear. Spotter's fault there at that point, but able to hold on to it and keep this race under green. Ahead of him looks like the 9 machine of Bray LeBoeuf. To give you an idea, LeBoeuf, 8th place, 1 lap down, right now to the leaders. Started 5th in this race, was able to lead a couple laps while he got up front while everybody else was taking tires. Truck looks in great shape of Mr. LeBoeuf right now, moving forward, number 9. Not a lot has changed up front except for the gap between the first and second place. Garrett Maines in the 57 machine still holding on to the lead. Of course, Matthew Lee in the second place. Sacco was trying to catch up for the third place. Still going to have a great podium finish at this point. Again, Fulton still losing a ton of time to the top 3. Fulton 19 seconds back from the leader. That's at least half of track length. Actually, even more considering the laps are 32 and 33 seconds around this facility. Lap traffic ahead of our leader there at the 57. Riding along, just nobody behind him, as you can see right now. Back to the number 4 of Matthew Lee. Lee is, again, 4.1 seconds back last time. He's coming around turn 4. As we see the camera change positions, that's how much of a gap you got. Not much of a gap there, difference right now. Still holding on to that second place spot. Nicholas Sacco in the third place, just under a half a second. So Sacco has gained, but I believe he might be on the move to try to get up to that second place spot. Lee, a little bit of a hard arc coming there in turn 4. Down the back chute to go. As I'm saying this, watch that 29 of Sacco. Sacco gaining up, 4 truck lengths back. They'll hit it hard down through turn 4. He saved his tires for the last run. Did he do the same this run? Maine's way out in front. Not a challenge from anybody from behind, but the 29 of Sacco and the 4 of Matthew Lee is what we're going to keep our eye on here. You go down the back chute.
Yeah, Robert just heard the 111 is pitting this time, so some of the leaders are having to come down for a splash.
Well, we'll see what happens up front if Maines, Lee, and Sacco have got a pit. Right now, the challenge is from the 29. I see the 111 right now hitting pit lane. He'll bring it down for a splash of fuel and get back on the speedway. Sacco is gaining by it right now. He's got about 3 truck lengths between him and the 4 of Lee. Keep in mind, he's still got to make the pass. Everybody's still in the same lanes that they need to be, running the same line. A little bit of a higher arc coming out of turn 2 there for Lee. Was able to take and bring it back down. That'll make it 2 truck lengths between the second and third position.
Here in the 87, maybe low on fuel himself.
87 to McKinnon. He is 1 lap down in the 11th position. He is the last guy, by the way, a lap down, as we have a challenge right now for the second place spot. We see a 111 come off of pit lane. That's Mr. Hughes. Sacco to a little bit of a higher arc this time. Loses about a half a truck length coming down through turn 2. 4th place, now 20.5 seconds back from the leaders. These guys up front are fast. That's been obvious all night long. Garrett Maines able to hold off these guys immediately for that top spot. But keep an eye again for Sacco there in that 3rd place against Lee. Jason Maines, by the way, 5th place. He is 21.